ज़्यादा वो नहीं पसंद फैं फैं शैं शैं so this is what I like that's why Switzerland is my favorite country. Oh baby!
Hello!
How did you like it? How
Like
did you
it?
like the ride?
Amazing!
Oh my
Look
god!
at that!
Hello everyone! ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ 'ਚ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ and guess what? We are going to Highland.
Highlands. The
Highland?
Highlands.
The Highlands. As you all know ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਕਾਟਲੈਂਡ 'ਚ ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ day 4 ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ Highlands. ਤੇ Highland 'ਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ?
Countryside, babe.
It's a countryside
It's
basically.
a countryside north of Scotland.
Already ਅਸੀਂ Edinburgh ਚੋਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਾਂ. Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland. ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ 1 ਘੰਟਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੁਰੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੂੰ, right? ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਕਿਤੇ ਰਾਸਤੇ 'ਚ stop by ਕੀਤਾ ਗਾ.
Show them the countryside.
Wow, look at that. ਸਵੇਰ ਦੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਵਜੇ ਪਏ? It's 9 o'clock?
Yeah, but
Guys, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਭੇਡਾਂ ਦਿਖਾਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ. So ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਬੱਸ ਤੇ ਹੈਗੇ, this bus. ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ I think 20-25 ਲੋਕ ਹੈਗੇ. ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟੂਰ ਗਾਈਡ ਹੈ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਆਫ ਦ ਬੱਸ ਹੀ ਵਾਸ ਟੈਲਿੰਗ ਅਸ ਕਿ ਸਕਾਟਲੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਟੋਟਲ ਪੋਪੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਜ਼ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ 4.5 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਐਂਡ ਭੇਡਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ 27 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ. ਹੀ ਵਾਸ ਲਾਫਿੰਗ ਦੈਟ ਇਫ ਵੀ ਐਵਰ ਗੈਟ ਇਨਟੂ ਦ ਵਾਰ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਭੇਡਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਲੜਨ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵੈਲ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਡ. ਤੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. ਲੈਟ ਮੀ ਜ਼ੂਮ ਇਨ ਲਿਟਲ ਬਿਟ. ਨੋ ਆਈ ਕਾਂਟ ਜ਼ੂਮ ਇਨ. Sorry guys. I'm not pro. There you go. There are so many of them. ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਸ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਭੇਡਾਂ ਹੀ ਭੇਡਾਂ ਦਿਖ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਦੇਖ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ. We grabbed a hot chocolate and croissant. We're gonna move from here, but sceneries are really beautiful. See, we've been in Edinburgh city, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀ one of the oldest city ਹੈਗੀ. 200 ਸਾਲ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਐਡਨਬਰਾ. ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਸ ਹੈ ਕੈਸਲਸ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੇ 200-300 ਸਾਲ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ. ਈਵਨ ਦ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਹਾਊਸਿਸ ਅਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਸ all are very old. That has a different charm, but I am more of nature person like this. I like quiet places, sceneries, mountains, greenery. ਮਤਲਬ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਸੰਦ ਫੈਂ ਫੈਂ ਸ਼ੈਂ ਸ਼ੈਂ. So this is what I like. That's why Switzerland is my favorite country. So I'm waiting for Jay washroom ਗਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ we are gonna leave. I'm gonna take some pictures here. Jay ਨੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਹੈਗੀ because ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਰਾਈਵਰ ਸੀਗਾ is very smart driver. So he been telling us a lot of things, nice things. So babe, mic on ਕਰ ਲਓ ਆਪਣਾ please. ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੌਂਗ ਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਨੈਪ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਗਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ?
So Brendan, he's the bus driver and tour guide at the same time. And
he's so good.
He's really good, really funny.
He really like his job.
He understands how to keep people engaged, right? We can't just be about boring, like the facts and figures and information. It has to be funny as well. So he's doing that really nicely. We'll try to get him in the video as well. So
yeah.
I'll show you guys. But he
we
was talking about the history of, first he was telling about anything that comes on the way. He's saying, okay, this is this, castles, these are some castles, these are some areas, this is where this queen was born, right? He told us the story about Queen Mary, Queen of Scots. She's a very famous queen.
Right.
And she basically was declared the queen when she was only 6 days old. That's when her father died. Yeah.
Really? ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ queen ਸੀ Scotland ਦੀ?
Yes. So her father didn't have any other children, just her. She was the only child. And she became the queen at 6 days old. Then she moved around a lot and England wanted to. The King of England, Henry VI or something, he wanted her to marry his son. But the people didn't agree, right? So she was moved around for her protection. And that's when England started attacking Scotland, right?
Okay.
After that, she moved to France. She grew up there. And she married one of the royal, the future king of France. She married him. Prince. And, but he died when he was 18 and she was, I think, 17.
That's sad.
Around that time. So after that, she came back to Scotland and she married somebody else here, Lord. But he was misusing her power for his own good and his friends. Okay? And then what happened was he killed somebody who he thought, she was pregnant.
Okay.
She got pregnant, and then, but his friends, the king, her husband's friends, told him that it's not your son, it's not your child. So he got angry, and they said, this guy, he's her secretary. They said he's the father.
Ah, that she cheated on him.
Yeah, and he was Italian. So the Queen Mary's husband killed that guy in front of her, and she got scared. She's like, wow, he killed somebody in front of me. I'm scared for my child. He thinks this is not his child, so she ran away. And she went to another friend who was another, like, let's say, very high-ranking person, a lord, and she stayed with him. And a few days later, or 2 months later, her husband was found dead, strangled, and his house was also burned down.
No way.
Yes. Yes.
Marine.
Yeah. Then after that, she became, obviously he was already the queen, but she had this child, and after she had the child, she was asking help. Right, I remember now. So in Scotland, there was, right when she was like around, she was very young, what happened was Catholics and Protestants. These are two, like, let's say, sects of Christianity, right? The religion.
Okay.
So Protestants side took over, and they changed Scotland. Like, they made all the churches Protestants, and they had a lot of followers.
Right.
So she was against it. She was a Catholic. So she wanted to stop them, the movement, Protestant movement, right? So she raised an army, and she asked help from England, who was her cousin, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth I.
Oh.
Not this one. This is
the Pelle wali.
This isn't the
mother.
No. This is 500 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So ancestor, let's say, and I think we have to move. There's a bus street.
Okay, let's move that side then.
Yeah.
Okay, fair babe.
So then she asked for help from Queen Elizabeth I. And you know, Queen Elizabeth I, she was actually born to the king, but her mother, she was not married to the king when she was, conceived. Like, when she was born, they made a loophole, because at the time, Queen Mary of Scots was supposed to be the queen of all of England. But they didn't want this, because she was Scottish, right?
Okay.
So they said, let's make a new rule that if the king marries this woman who's about to have this child, right, she'll be allowed to be queen straight away. Okay? So that was Queen Elizabeth I.
Oh.
She was actually born, like, not born, but her mother was the girlfriend of the king at the time.
Okay.
Crazy stuff going on, right?
Then,
So Queen Mary of Scots and her, they were cousins. So she asked her for help. She said, yeah, okay, I'll help you, but you have to leave your throne. You cannot be Queen of Scotland anymore. And she said, okay, no problem. She left her throne, but she said, my son will be King of Scotland when he's that age.
Right.
So they said, okay, fine. And she was put under house arrest. Yeah. She was put under house arrest, and she was moved from castle to castle in England. And she would have her servants and everything, normal life, but she can't do anything.
Outside,
Can't have
like,
anything.
public nahi ja sakti si.
Can't do anything. So that's why.
For the rest of her life.
Yes.
My goodness.
So.
But she was living a lavish life, living in a castle way with servant and everyone.
Yeah, but you can't do. There's no freedom.
Baby, who needs freedom when you're living in castle?
That's what. Ask her then. Anyways, what happened was they were afraid. Like many years later, they were afraid Queen Elizabeth was going to die, and she didn't have any sons or daughters or any children.
Which the
Queen Elizabeth I. So if she had died, Queen Mary of Scots would be queen. But they didn't want that. So you know what they did? They made a fake case against her that she is spying against us, and they executed her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
England did that?
Yeah, they executed her.
Queen Elizabeth I did that.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Okay, so Martha executed karta, and then her son became king after Queen Elizabeth I died, and his name was James. He became James I, King James the First. He was the first Scottish king of England, all of UK. Yeah. Well, all of England and Scotland, both of them. So then after that, when he was older, he took his mother's body out of her grave where they had buried her.
Are
And
you serious?
he went to Westminster. That's where all the queens and kings are buried,
Uh-huh.
right? Westminster. Okay? And he buried her mother
There.
in front of Queen Elizabeth I. And
Oh.
when the sun rises in the morning,
Uh-huh.
right, it rises first on his mother's grave
And
and then Queen Elizabeth.
Holy moly. No,
And then, you know why? And then they asked him, why did you do that? Like, why did you? So he said, this is so that the establishment, and what he means by establishment, the people, the the people who are playing the game, the lords and
Yeah.
the court,
Uh-huh.
right? He said, so that they can see what they've done to my mother daily, on a daily basis.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was a good story, right?
Babe, this royal families has a lot of dirty,
Yes.
dark
Yeah.
history, you know?
Because it's all about power, babe. At the end of the
It's
day.
all about power and it's really dark. Even this one, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ UK ਦੇ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ family ਹੈ. They also have really dark
Yeah.
history. I have seen The Crown ਜਿਹੜਾ
The series.
series ਹੈਗੀ Netflix ਤੇ. It's really dark. It's really, really dark. They do stuff which is not really, really good, but they have to, I
Yeah.
think any power ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ,
Yeah.
they have to manipulate people. They have to manipulate their own people.
Yeah.
Son, kids, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਕੋਲੇ ਕੋਈ right ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਗਾ. They have no right to take decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go, babe. guys-
Let's get the boat.
We're gonna move
Tickets.
now. Guys, I'm gonna show you sceneries. It's so pretty, so pretty. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ ਸਾਡਾ tour guide come driver. He's very excited, very funny guy. ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਵੀ ਕਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਸੁਣੋਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੀਨਰੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਦਿਖਾ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ look at that I don't think so you guys can see
So look to your left. Look at that. That's just like stunning.
oh baby
Hello.
like it
Like it.
the ride
Amazing.
oh my
Look
god
at that. Look, it's a nice view.
look at that it's so pretty wow
Very nice.
guys it is breathtaking view and the weather is so good
Yes.
Babe, let's take pictures
You can take a picture, yes?
oh
I'll
my
take.
god
We are here. You know what these mountains are?
what
These are called the Three Sisters.
huh
Three Sisters. One, two, and then there was a mountain before that. The names of the mountains: Faith, Hope, and Charity. I'm pretty sure that'll be written here. So check that out.
wow
How beautiful.
it's so beautiful I think videos are not doing
So
this
this area, right, is called Glencoe. This is called Glencoe Valley, basically.
wow these mountains look like painting they don't look real
Not really,
and it's drizzling
but it is real.
Janam Safal
Yeah.
Janam Safal
This is all natural, guys.
And
There's nothing. People are kayaking as well. I can see one person kayaking.
yeah
Stuff it.
and imagine that house look at this house wow
Somebody's living there.
see those people are going that side
Yeah, but we're not supposed. Nice. Like,
very nice thank you
What-
babe thank you for making it happen
of course, anytime.
thank you babe I love you.
Look at this screen. No idea. That's like the most natural water with that.
ਪੀ ਵੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ?
Yes. This is all fresh water.
Mm.
This is fresh water.
ਗੱਡੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੱਜਣਾ।
ਹੈਂ?
Hello guys, we are here at the Loch Ness lake ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ
Yeah.
ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੀਂਹ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੇਖੋ।
We have finally reached.
Yes.
ਇਹ ਆਪਾਂ umbrella ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਕਣਾ ਸੀ ਆਪਣਾ?
No, it's fine.
No need,
We
right?
don't need it in the boat.
Okay.
ਉੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ should I get it? Too far.
We don't need it in the boat. So guys,
It's good.
ਅਸੀਂ cruise book ਕੀਤਾ ਗਾ boat, so we're gonna go on boat inside the Loch Ness.
Come.
Loch Ness lake. And Loch Ness snake ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ monster ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲਣ ਚੱਲੇ ਆਂਗੇ। ਇੱਕ monster ਬਾਹਰ, ਇੱਕ monster ਅੰਦਰ।
Yeah.
So they're gonna be competition.
Yes. Competition ਹੋਊਗਾ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ monster ਹੈ।
This is the lake.
This is the canal that goes into the lake.
Ah, this is
Yes. Yes.
This is the bridge. We parked our bus there. इधरों lake आ रही है, sorry, canal आ रही है. इधर ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਜਿਹੜਾ yacht ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।
I wouldn't say it's a yacht, it's a ferry.
The ferry? Okay.
Yeah, yacht is different than a ferry.
I'm getting wet, babe.
Are you?
Jackets are.
It's not waterproof, is it? What did I tell you?
Jay waterproof jackets लिखती है, and he was telling me, oh, I need a jacket, waterproof shoes, waterproof jacket. ਤੇ ਮੈਂ
ਹੁਣ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਦੇਖੋ
ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ।
ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ
He was being
ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂਗਾ।
We needed it.
Yep. I'm gonna zip myself up. Totally waterproof. Except the upstairs over here. All right, good to go.
Very cute.
There we go. Perfect. Oh,
Guys, this is the ferry. ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਅਸੀਂ। And we grabbed some snacks.
we got some snacks, left the boat. We're gonna go on the top.
You look
Enjoy.
so funny.
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Yeah, we should have taken the umbrella, to be honest.
Yeah, it's cold, है ना?
Oh well.
जाना है अभी भी time हैगा babe.
No, it's too, because if we go back, we can go back.
Babe, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ। Time ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੁਣ?
We have, come on now.
We have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
we can go back and get our umbrellas because बहुत ज़्यादा वो पै रही है, मींह पै रहा है।
Travelling across world famous Loch Ness. But there is more of interest in this deep dark valley than just the monster. The loch is around 23 miles long, averages 1 mile wide, and according to surveys during the 1990s, a depth of 786 feet was recorded. That is 35 kilometers long, 1.5 kilometers wide, and 239 meters deep.
Wow.
You could put the population of the world into Loch Ness more than 3 times over, and it contains more water than all the lakes, rivers, and reservoirs in both England and Wales combined. So there is room for it to conceal a few mysteries. To help understand the scale of the loch, many world-famous landmarks could be completely submerged in Loch Ness. The Eiffel Tower, Golden Gate Bridge, and 2 Statues of Liberty would all disappear below the surface, as would the hills you see on either side of you. Loch Ness is part of the Great Glen of Scotland, a geological fault.
You fancy that? Off you go. Personally, too expensive for me. These estates out here, they make money by renting out the hunting rights for the red deer. So you may have seen red deer here in Scotland in your time in our country. You'll have seen them maybe on drive up here. There are more red deer in the Highlands than there are Highlanders. The deer actually outnumber the locals here. You may have noticed also that not many things grow on the top of our hills here in this country. That's because the deer are up there eating everything. We used to have predators that kept the deer under control. We used to have bears, wolves and lynxes in this country. But the Victorians shot them. So they've gone extinct now. You can see the manor house there now. On the right hand side, that white building nestled through the trees. The owner of this estate has built himself an airfield. He lives in London. He flies up here to shoot deer on the weekend, and he owns 20% of Deutsche Bank. Just wondering, in case you're wondering where all these people get their money from. I sound very bitter about this. I suppose I am. Right up here, this is Gorrie's Cave up here. There's some caves nestled into these rock formations up here. These caves were used by Jacobites to hide from government troops during the Jacobite Rebellion. Does anyone know what the Jacobite Rebellion was? A few nods. Any Outlander fans aboard? More nods. Okay. The right-hand side here is Clan Fraser territory. So the Frasers of Lovat controlled this side of the loch. The other side was controlled by Clan Grant of Glen Morrison, and these clans would constantly fight with each other. Basically, the Frasers would row out in the middle of the night, they'd raid the Grants, which basically means they'd steal from them, take all their valuables, their cows, gold, things like that, sometimes even kidnap their wives, and then they'd sail back over, and in the morning, Clan Grant would row back over and get their cows back. And that's pretty much how things went on in the Highlands for hundreds of years. The way clan systems worked, basically, if you lived in this area, land wasn't particularly fertile. If you look up there, you can kind of see what I mean. You can't grow much up here unless you spend a lot of time working on the land. So it didn't help when a big mean guy would come along and rob you every so once in a while. So you'd go find the next biggest mean guy, you'd swear fealty to him, and you'd join his clan, and he would protect you from the other guys. That's basically how it worked. When you joined the clan in Scotland, you took the clan chief's name. So this is why so many people in Scotland have the same last name. It is not because there was one guy called MacDonald running around having thousands of kids. Okay? We are not as inbred in Scotland as everyone says, although 3 people in this company are related. But just ignore that. Up in the hills here, 1 or 2 goats, white goats just outlined there by the heather.
Yeah.
We also have wild deer, as I mentioned out here, the red deer. They're harder to spot, especially this time of year. Very well camouflaged. We also have golden eagles and white-tailed sea eagles. They're quite impressive when you see them swooping through the clouds up here. The reason the eagles come above the boat, though, is if you look behind us, you see where we've cut through the water. The water is a slightly different colour where the boat has been. That's because we've moved to keep sediment out of the way. Sunlight can get a little bit deeper. Fish are more visible, so the eagles would dive in behind us and try and catch them.
Okay, guys, that was a good speech. Good script by the captain. Anna?
What do you think?
Yeah, it's
Tell us more about
Loch Ness. Loch Ness ਹੈਗਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਲੰਬਾ lake in Scotland. It's the longest lake in Scotland, 23 miles long, and it's the deepest as well. It's the deepest lake, and all the water here is enough for all. It's more than all. If you combined all the water, fresh water in England and Wales, it would not fit in here.
वो कह रहे थे earlier.
So it has most fresh water. It's very dark because it has something called tannic acid.
Yeah.
See, it's not clear water, right? So it's
not
dark
blue.
water. Yeah. So it's dark water. It's dark because of the tea. Tannic acid.
Okay, folks. So I should probably talk a wee bit
back
about the Loch Ness Monster. Who here believes in the Loch Ness Monster? No one? Fair enough. I'm probably one man believes. Okay. So I'm probably the most skeptical man in the company, probably because I don't live here. But James is a big believer, so when I'm done talking, James will be wandering around, and feel free to ask him some questions as well. So the first recorded sighting we had of the Loch Ness Monster was by a man called Saint Columba, who's an Irish missionary, came up here to convert us all to Christianity. He'd actually been kicked out of Ireland for lying. So not really the best source of information about mystical creatures. What he'd heard, though, was that there was a monster in the loch, and he did what any sensible person would do. He threw his servant Mungo into the water. The water here, folks, is 4 degrees, by the way, so Mungo was not enjoying himself splashing around. The monster appeared, approached poor Mungo, and next thing you know, St. Columba apparently wandered into the water, waving his staff around like a cheap knockoff Gandalf, and the monster, cringing with embarrassment, swam away. And no one saw Nessie again for another 1,400 years, until a local hotel owner at the other end of the loch saw Nessie crossing the road one day when he came out the pub. And instead of going to the local AA meeting, he immediately went to the local newspaper, and next thing you know, Nessie mania had begun. And people have been coming here looking for Nessie ever since. and we thank you for that. Thank you. But people are seeing things, folks. People have seen many things over the years, so it's got to be something. Many different theories abound. One of them is that it could be a large catfish, like you get in Lake Baikal in Russia. The Russians get large catfish out there, 6 to 12 feet in length. We'd not be doing boat trips in the rain. We would have caviar farms everywhere, wouldn't we? So it's not the sturgeon. Personally, I think Nessie is probably a large European eel. We get loads of European eels here in the Loch, folks. They grow to about the size of my leg. Then they swim out to sea, down the River Ness to the North Sea. They hunt to the North Sea, then they come back up the river into this loch to spawn here.
Alright guys, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਦੱਸਤੀ। ਅੱਧੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦਾ ਐਕਸੈਂਟ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਗਿਆ। ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਜੇ knows more about this lake. Reason he's been researching a lot before we came here, so he's gonna tell us more. Jay.
So, okay guys, so Loch Ness, this lake, right? Why is it famous? Because of the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
Loch Ness monster on Kia. It's some kind of monster that people have claimed they saw, right? And there's photographs as well of it. So that's why this lake is famous, and that's why this cruise exists, basically. Because this cruise has been operating for almost 45 years.
Wow.
Right?
45 years.
Yeah, 45, 50, more than 50 years actually. More than 50 years. And they have been involved in finding this Loch Ness monster as well.
Really?
This Loch Ness monster looks like a long, like dragon or lizard, or they don't even know what it actually is because they never found it. So there have been sightings of this monster since 1500 or I think 1700 years, right? That's what he was saying. So he's saying the first guy who saw it was a Christian evangelist. He was trying to convert everybody here in Scotland to Christianity. So he came here and he came here with his servant. He threw his servant in the water for some reason.
To experiment.
Yeah, and the monster was trying to eat him, Loch Ness monster. And he waved his stick around and he ran away. That's the first time anybody heard of a monster in this lake. Okay. Yeah. Then after that, 1700 years later, somebody else came up with it. And then it's been going on forever. Our driver, though, told us 8 weeks ago, just 8 weeks ago, they were doing sonar. Sonar is like an imaging test. Like they send out a signal from the boat and it comes back up. And if it hits anything on the way to the bottom, it shows up on the screen.
Are you serious?
So 8 weeks ago, they put the signal, the sonar, down. One of these boats, actually. Right, the other boat, the big boat that we saw. Sonar went down, came up, and there was an image that came up of a 15-meter long creature.
No way.
So that's why people are coming back and it's gone up. The interest has gone up again about this.
So is it in the news?
It was in the news, I think. It must have been in the news. You could search it.
Crazy.
So now people are thinking again, like there must be something. So the captain has his own theory because people are saying it's fish, it's something else, it's something else.
Catfish.
He's saying it's an eel, a European eel. And he said the longest that they've caught is 5 meters long. 5 meters long is like 18, 19 feet long. That's huge. You know how much that is? Almost as much as his boat.
Really?
Yeah. So that's his theory. He thinks it's an eel. So who knows what it is? But this is why it's famous, Loch Ness monster.
But otherwise, apart from
nice,
Ness,
very beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
And very, very beautiful. There's mountains on this side, mountains on that side, and actually Loch Ness, this was made because of a fault line. Fault line came the.
Fault line came.
There's these plates, right? Tectonic plates. With the shift kardiyan in there, they're always moving. And when two of them meet, it goes like this.
Okay.
They force each other up. Or one goes up and one goes down.
Okay.
So these mountains were made because of that. So they went like this. And this was the Europe side, and this was the North America side.
Okay.
This Loch Lake was created then, like hundreds of millions of years ago.
Oh, okay. So this is not man-made. This is like naturally created by earthquake.
Natural.
Tsunami. Yes.
And there's earthquakes happening all the time here.
Yeah.
But we don't feel them. Very, very tiny.
Minor.
Because it's still moving. It's still moving like this. Very slowly.
Oh wait, even now it's happening?
Yeah,
He was saying how many earthquakes a year?
1500.
1500?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Guys, 1500 earthquakes a year happens in.
Here, this line. Not
It-
just Loch Ness, this whole, it's a huge line,
Mhm.
right? It goes through all of Scotland, I think.
Yeah. And we are going to another place tomorrow. Where are we going, babe?
We're going to Loch Lomond, which is the largest lake in Scotland. That's where we're staying for 4 days.
Great. So guys, stay tuned because we're gonna record more videos. A vlog बहुत लंबा हो गया है इसलिए सानू और एक next vlog start करना पड़ेगा. So stay tuned, keep watching this video and we're gonna get out this boat. ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਟਾਊਨ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਵਿਲੇਜ ਹੈ ਵਿਲੇਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਡਿਨਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੌਰੀ ਲੰਚ ਕਰਨ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ 2 ਵਜ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਬੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਲੰਚ ਕਰਨ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਟਾਊਨ ਹੈ ਬੜਾ ਕਿਊਟ ਜਿਹਾ ਟਾਊਨ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਟਾਊਨ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਸੋ ਸਟੇ ਟਿਊਨ ਕੀਪ ਵਾਚਿੰਗ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਮਾਈ ਚੈਨਲ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਾਓ ਐਂਡ ਸੀ ਯੂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵਲੌਗ ਬਾਏ ਬਾਏ ਟਾਟਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਦੇਖ ਵਿਊ
Amazing.